Engine. Let's talk engine. So this car has a 2-liter inline 4, straight 4, however you want to say it. It's all the same thing. Produces 240 horsepower at 8,300 RPM. It has 160 odd foot-pounds of torque, something like that. Torque absolutely does not matter in this car. 100% does not matter. If you have this car in 6th gear at 50 miles an hour and you put the pedal all the way down to the floor, literally nothing will happen. Nothing. A Civic will beat this. A Miata will beat this under 6,000 RPM. It's that bad. There is no torque. This car does not produce any torque. In a lot of ways, it's like a motorcycle engine. It's really high revving, you know, high strong. You know, all the power's up at the, you know, 8,000, 9,000 RPM and no torque. It's just like a motorcycle engine. Reliability. Let's talk reliability. So this is a Honda, and with that name comes a certain reputation for reliability and bulletproofness. And this car is 100% in that category. It's in the earlier years of Honda too. It's like the early 2000s Hondas. Bulletproof, man. You still see them out on the road, and there's tons of them. It's crazy how reliable these cars are. And this is no exception. I bought it with 47,000 miles on it. I put about 16 now, you know, in the past year that I've owned it. Not a single problem. All I've had to do is change the oil. I'm about to do a transmission and differential fluid change as well at 60,000 miles. That's what you're supposed to do. But those are the only maintenance items I've had to deal with. And that's something that really sets this car apart from the competition, I guess you could say. When this car came out, it was competing with the likes of BMW and Porsche in the forms of the Z4 and the Boxster. And I just cannot imagine that those two cars would be as reliable as this. I really can't imagine it. And I can speak to BMW. I know BMWs will not be, an old BMW from this year will not be as reliable. And I can say that with confidence because my dad actually used to own a BMW from that time period. It was an E46 325i. We bought it with 50,000 miles on it. It was brand new. I mean, it was in perfect condition. Nothing wrong with it. Fluids had been changed and everything. And 10,000 miles right later, that car just broke. I mean, so many things went wrong with it. The van house unit broke. It had gasket problems. It was leaking oil everywhere. It was a piece of shit, all right? Had only 60,000 miles. When you take it under a tunnel, holy shit. Modifications, let's talk modifications. So this car is basically 100% stock, minus the wheels and tires. I have put a 17-inch ASA AR1 wheels in silver, and Yokohama YK580 all-season tires. Fantastic tire, by the way, highly recommended. If you're looking for a budget tire that'll, you know, keep you going throughout the year, great tires. Excellent grip, excellent performance. It's a little bit dicey in the wet. But I feel like with this car, anything is kind of dicey in the wet. You know, it doesn't have traction control, really short wheelbase, you know, everything's kind of dicey in this car in wet conditions. So, but the ASA R1 is also a great budget wheel. Friggin' cars next to me, everything's so loud on the interstate. This set is actually made specifically for this car. And they're basically budget BBS wheels. The ASA is actually a subsidiary of BBS. And the design of these wheels are actually straight from BBS. They're I think, 3-piece or something. They got rivets in them and everything. It's a budget BBS wheel. They're great. They look fantastic, and people won't know the difference. You can tell people these are BBS wheels and they'll believe you. And the other modification I have to this car is the exhaust, which I'm sure you've noticed by now. It's an NVIDIA N1. It's the louder version of the NVIDIA exhaust available for this vehicle. You know, they have the NVIDIA Q300, which actually has 2 resonators on the mufflers, which quiets it down a little bit. Still a great sounding exhaust. A friend of mine has it. It's fantastic. This is a lot more shouty. I mean, it is a loud exhaust. I used to have a Suzuki SV650S V-twin straight pipes, and that thing was loud as fuck. I mean, really fucking loud. And I never thought I would ever own a vehicle that was louder than that thing, but this thing cuts it close, man. I'm serious. It's extremely loud. It is very droney at certain RPMs, and it is possible to drive this quietly, don't get me wrong. If you feather the throttle and get it into the certain RPM range, you can drive it quietly. Like right now, it's not too bad. Most of the noise is wind noise. But if you deviate even, watch this. You deviate even a little bit, or you go off on the overrun. If you go in, if you let up the throttle, let it overrun, it just shouts back up. It's pretty crazy. And around town and shit, it's just so loud. It's honestly too loud for a street car. But some people like it, and honestly, I don't hate it. I love it. I love the sound. It sounds fucking fantastic. Miles per gallon. Let's talk about miles per gallon. It's got a lot of them. Downshifting under a tunnel. What do I love most about this car? Besides the engine is the jewel of the car. It makes the car, honestly. But besides that, and a lot of S2000 guys out there, I know you're gonna hate me for saying this, because the hardtop is just such a great, it's like the crown, the thing that you want in an S2000. But the top-down experience is phenomenal. I mean, I've never owned a convertible before, and honestly, when I first got in this car at the dealership, that's what sold me. I put the roof down, I started the engine up, and I looked up at the sky, and I just imagined myself on a country road, ripping through, the gears and everything, and it's just such a fantasy. And when it comes to life, when you're actually in it, it's just so fun. It's amazing. The top-down experience, especially with this exhaust, you hear everything, all the overrun, the 9000, you blip it off the throttle, bounce it off the rev limiter. I mean, it makes you feel like a racing driver, and it's just so awesome. And I think people love it too. I mean, when you got the top down of this thing, people look at you. I read a funny quote about S2000s actually. Rich people think you have good taste if you own an S2000, and poor people think you're rich, which is really funny. It's completely true. This car just looks so cool. It's just such a cool looking, awesome. The dimensions are perfect. It's got classic lines, and with the top down, it just looks fucking awesome. And I bought this car for $14,700 out the door. It's cheaper than a new Civic. Yes, I have named my car. Her name is Khaleesi. If you watch Game of Thrones, I think you'll appreciate that name. Because she is a sexy, sexy mother of dragons, and this car, for all intents and purposes, is the exact same thing. If you're a college kid or post-grad like me, you have a job, you're looking for a sports car, I cannot give this car more praise. It is that good. You will not hate your purchase in any way. And like I said earlier, I mean, if you're looking at a car in this price range, you're probably also looking at like the BMW Z4, like the old one, or an older Porsche Boxster. I think the Boxsters are actually a little bit more expensive now, but well, those cars are fantastic, and I have driven them. I mean, it's a lot of the same stuff to love. The top-down experience. The Boxster's got that mid-engine setup, super balanced. The Z4 is just, it's more luxurious. They're good options, but keep in mind, the maintenance will kill you. Do girls like it? Maybe. This is one thing I want to talk about here real quick. You cannot buy a car to get girls. It doesn't work. Girls don't care about cars. And if you find one that does, keep her, because she's a fucking keeper. But most girls just do not care. They don't know anything about the car. All they know is that it's a convertible and it goes fast and it's loud. So yeah, my sex life has not changed at all because of this car. And this is a very good example of an S2000, and if mine doesn't work, yours won't either. Unless you're more good looking than me, which is entirely possible. So what do I not like about this car? And this list is actually surprisingly long given how much I love this thing. First off, the build quality in the AP1s especially leaves something to be desired. There are a lot of interior trim pieces on here that just haven't aged well. You know, this plastic is starting to chip and stuff. And this has been a very well cared for car. I mean, you know, like I said, it's only had 2 owners. It's always garaged. And yet, you know, a lot of the trim pieces just have a lot of fading on them, and I don't know why. The top as well, like the seal on the door that comes over the driver's side window has just come off. There's a rip in it, and there's like a tiny little hole that, you know, sometimes water will leak through. And guess what? That little rubber piece costs $250. Go look it up. I'm not fucking kidding. It's $250 for that little piece of shit rubber. And obviously, you know, you can fix it. There's things you can do for it, but and the other thing is, because it is such a lightweight, you know, 2-seat roadster type car with a soft top, it is very loud in here. You know, you do have to raise your voice at times, especially with the exhaust, to talk to someone in the passenger seat. But there's also an added benefit to that. Because of that, you literally can hear everything, all the mechanicals that go into this car. And if you like that type of stuff, which a lot of people, you know, who buy a car like this are very much into that type of thing, it's very cool. I mean, you can when you're at a standstill, like I am right now, you can hear, you know, the difference between clutch fully engaged and disengaged. You can hear the synchros working, you know, if you slowly slide, you know, the selector in. If you have the car in a garage, definitely try. If you have an S2000, definitely try this out. I'm sure you already have. But if you ever get a chance, it's awesome. You know, if you're in a garage and you have the, you know, the engine turned off, you can just select the gears. Select the gears like that. And when you're in the garage, it echoes, and it just sounds so cool. It's so mechanical, just bah, bah, bah. Sounds like a rifle bolt. I know that's a really overused analogy, but it's true. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's my car. And I'll do a more in-depth review of the exhaust system and the car itself in a future video. But yeah, if you liked this video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I would love to keep doing this. You know, if this is something YouTube enjoys, I will take that enjoyment with you guys, because I love doing this, talking and driving and everything. And yeah, you know, and one more thing. This channel, like I said, is not only about cars. While there will be a heavy lean towards cars, because I'm very passionate about cars, the channel itself is about passion. So leave in the comment section below, what is your passion? You know, what big thing are you doing to pursue your passion? What is it? I want to know. I want to know what people who watch these types of videos are interested in. And who knows, maybe I'll make a video about it. I have a lot of passions. It's not just cars. I work in IT. I love computers. I play the guitar. I love to work out. You know, there's a lot of things I can, you know, let my creative juices flow and, you know, make videos about. And that's something I want to do. So yeah, hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. One more quick acceleration video for the road. Never gets old. When VTEC hits, dude. VTEC, yo! But seriously, it's really fun.